The 90s in Palm Beach were a different time.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
He's dead, he's gone.
Trump's latest Epstein defense is just an admission, y'all. He said that the 90s in Palm Beach were a different time. Seriously, I almost spit out my friggin' coffee when I read that. Dude, that's not a defense. That's an admission. And also, I cannot hear the words Palm Beach without thinking of the birdcage.
They're at their vacation house in South Beach.
Oh, is that like Palm Beach?
It's close. It's about 2 minutes from Fisher Island, where Jeb Bush lives.
Really?
Diane Wiest, iconic. And the 90s were a different time, Donnie? Really? The footage begs to differ. Per the usual, all of the lies that come out of Trump's mouth can be easily disproven. Not only does Donnie dance in the 2020s exactly like he did in the 1990s,
Pick yourself off the ground, I said, young man.
he's just as creepy with women in the 2020s as he was in the 90s. Seems like the 90s in Palm Beach look a lot like the 2020s in Palm Beach, and in New York, and in DC, and in Arizona. Trump's groping knows no decade or location. He is consistently creepy regardless of time or place. But this whole the 90s was a different time defense is quite the departure from the other defense strategy he's been implementing.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff.
He's dead, he's gone, and all it is the Republicans, certain Republicans got duped by the Democrats, and they're following a Democrat playbook.
But the president's change of tune is now threatening to fracture part of his MAGA base. Trump taking to Truth Social Wednesday, labeling those still talking about it his, quote, past supporters.
In July, Trump was trying his damnedest to insist that the whole Epstein thing was just being manufactured by the Democrats. There was nothing to see here. It's not a big deal, blah, 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 blah. But then this story comes out in the Wall Street Journal this week that says when Trump talks about the whole Epstein thing in the White House, he tells his staff, people don't understand that the 90s in Palm Beach were a different time. It was still illegal to sexually assault people in Palm Beach in the 1990s, Donnie. As much as you tried to make Palm Beach your isolated, disgusting little den of depravity, it was still located in the United States. And even though it's in Florida, there are still some laws they enforce. And what about Katie Johnson, Donnie? She was a child allegedly assaulted by you in the 90s in Epstein's apartment in New York City. Was that a different time as well? This story in the Wall Street Journal is coming out right before a vote is expected in the House to force the release of the Epstein files. Have you heard of this? Thomas MAGA Massey of Kentucky launched a discharge petition, a super rare act used in Congress. And if he gets 218 signatures on this petition, it would compel the release of the Epstein files. Why would MAGA Massey do this? He says he's convinced that Trump is not mentioned in the Epstein files, which either means one of two things. Massey is going to make sure that Trump is not in the Epstein files by playing a fun game of Redact-a-Trump, or the denial they're putting in that Kentucky bourbon is some powerful stuff. And the Republicans who have signed on to this petition are a who's who of really American media's MAGA asylum all-stars. Of course, we have Thomas Massey as the first Republican signature. He launched the petition, followed by Nancy Mace of South Carolina, then Lauren Boebert of Colorado, and Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. The petition sits at 217 signatures as of midday on Thursday, September 25th. And with the election of Adelita Grijalva to a House seat in Arizona, many people believe that 218th signature is right around the corner. Even Fox News says the House has the votes.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Could this really be the beginning of a MAGA meltdown? In addition to the Epstein files, there are major cracks showing in the Republican Party in Congress. They really want to blame Democrats for the looming government shutdown, but they're not sure how to go about it. They can't even get Trump on the same page as Republicans in Congress when it comes to messaging this whole debacle. Because it's a funding bill, the Senate actually needs 60 votes, which means they need some Democrats because they only have 53 Republicans in the Senate. And President Trump set up a meeting with Democratic leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, and Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries. But Trump canceled that meeting and explained the cancellation in a very on-brand, insane, and lengthy post on Truth Social. Seriously, I had to take 2 screenshots to capture this novel.
After reviewing the details of the unserious and ridiculous demands being made by the minority radical left Democrats in return for their votes to keep our thriving country open, I have decided that no meeting with their congressional leaders could possibly be productive. They are threatening to shut down the government of the United States unless they can have over $1 trillion in new spending to continue free health care for illegal aliens and force taxpayers to fund transgender surgery for minors, have dead people on the Medicaid rolls, allow alien criminals to steal billions of dollars in American taxpayer benefits, and try to force our country to open the borders to criminals and to the world. To the leaders of the Democratic Party, the ball is in your court. I look forward to meeting with you when you become realistic about the things our country stands for. Do the right thing.
Signed, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
I'm slightly mad.
Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune were not pleased that Trump went totally off script when it comes to the messaging they're trying to push about this funding bill. And Trump's emphasis on trans people is seriously insane. They're less than 1% of the population. Even if all of them wanted to have surgery, we ain't getting close to $1 trillion, you yahoo. A GOP aide admitted to Politico that there have been some unforced errors. Yeah, that's an understatement. And the cracks in the GOP are showing, not only in their approach to this funding bill, but also in the polling numbers. And just like we can easily disprove his claim that the 90s in Palm Beach were a different time, we can also easily disprove his claim that his approval numbers are the highest ever, because he currently sits at a 58% disapproval rating. The release of the Epstein files are looming, a government shutdown is looming. What a clusterfuck. Seriously, what happened to the mandate Republicans claimed they won in the November 2024 election? Y'all don't have a mandate. You can't agree on anything. MAGA is going to continue to throw one another under the bus, and we're going to be here to cover it all. For Really American Media, I am Corinne Straight. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to share, like, and leave a comment if you want. I gotta get going. I gotta look into this whole billions of dollars for surgeries thing that Democrats are apparently allocating, because there aren't that many trans people in the US. There's going to be some money left over, and there's probably a few things I could take care of if we got the extra cash. I'll see y'all next time.